August. Thank you for being here. My name is James Lawson. I'm one of the organizers at the Fairfax chapter of 1 Million Cups. Let's get going. If you don't know much about 1 Million Cups and you're new, well, we are part of the Kaufman Foundation. We work with communities in entrepreneurship and education to increase opportunities that allow all people to learn, to take risks, and to own their own success. We have both a national and a local mission. We work towards this mission through creating a consistent educational experience for each of our 1MC presenters nationwide, while also highlighting the uniqueness and value proposition in each local startup community.
Hey, now, James, when you get a chance, do you mind sharing your slides on the screen?
That would be really helpful, right? I mean, good Lord.
Just waiting to see who's
the first time you've ever done this, dude.
Put it in the notes.
I was starting to feel bad, James.
I just go, John. I just go.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Are you AI?
If you're just joining us, there was 2 slides that you missed. Go back to the previous one. So yes, let me start again. So our local, national and local mission. So we do work towards missions through creating consistent educational experiences for each 1MC presenter nationwide, while also highlighting uniqueness and value propositions in each local startup. Now, like most organizations, we do have our key pillars. We have 4 of them. You'll see them below. We talk about presentations, not pitches. This is not a place to come and try and raise money. But we do want to hear about your business and your challenges. We look for authentic connections. It's not a networking group. We think more mastermind, coming of the minds. We are run for the community, by the community. Everyone here is a volunteer and the organizers, and you'll get to meet them in a second or two. And we are radically and intentionally inclusive. So if we have anyone new in the room right now, please feel free to go and raise your hand. If called on, you can give us your name, your company name, and how you heard about us. And please try and keep it concise. So do we have anyone new in the room with us right now? Nobody? Good. We'll move on. So you can, with the QR code, go and check in. We like people to check in. The foundation itself likes to see how we are doing in terms of attendance from week to week. As you can see, we're pretty stable through July, but every time someone checks in, this allows us to at least go back and get some swag from them. So please do so. Now, as I said, we are run by the community for the community, and this is the organizing team along with our brand ambassadors. As you can see, there is a few. We are always looking for new people to come in and help share the load. But this is everyone that puts these things together on a weekly basis. So it's a fair amount of work. But if you are interested in joining us, I do believe the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner will allow you to actually get in touch with us and become an organizer. So there are 2 sponsors that we have for our 1 Million Cups each week. The first one is the George Mason Enterprise Center Fairfax, and I'm going to call on Jen Dalton to talk a little bit about what these guys do. Jen.
Thank you so much, James. Mason Enterprise Center is a business incubator with hundreds of businesses that are either virtual members or have office space there. It's a fantastic location as the economy ebbs, flows, ups, downs, all of that. If you need space, you can expand there. You can shrink as needed. You can expand again. It is a fantastic hub for government contracting, for AI, for technology, but it also has amazing startups, law firms, marketing firms, people who provide services to business owners. So if you're looking for a fantastic space just off of 66, they have designated mentors, over 18 mentors to help you grow your business. That is included when you are a member or client there. So I'm going to put a link to their website in chat. You can also see it on the page here. Do check it out. They have networking events. They have a ice cream networking event coming up August 27th. Yes, I know that off the top of my head. With that, I'm going to turn it over to our healthy partner and coffee sponsor, John Foster from Green Fair.
Great. Thank you, Jen. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm John Foster. I'm here representing Green Fair and ambassador for Green Fair. Been working with Green Fair for the last 9 years. We are the only educational restaurant in the country. We're 100% organic. We are a whole food, plant-based, and we don't cook with any salt, oil, or sugar. From a coffee standpoint, we serve mushroom coffee at the restaurant. We also have muffins, which are actually muffins that are actually good for you. It's like having a bowl of oatmeal, gluten-free, salt-free, sugar-free, and oil-free. And we've got a variety of flavors of muffins, so I certainly encourage you to stop in and try those. We also run a 21-day Kickstart program every month. So for 21 days, you get 42 meals, 4 classes. We see an average of a 20% drop in cholesterol, drop in weight, drop in blood pressure. So we run that program on a monthly basis. We also run educational programs. We actually have one tonight at the restaurant. It's a 1-hour presentation on a variety of topics. So certainly encourage you to come check it out. If you're not feeling great, stop in the restaurant and feel better. So thank everybody.
Thanks, Josh. That's quite the pitch. Yeah, thanks so much, brother. Okay, so let's talk about how these meetings are going to work. So in a second, we're going to have the lovely Melinda come on and talk about her business and talk about her challenge. We are going to move into a Q&A session once that is done. And so what we'd ask you to do is to have your questions ready. Please keep your questions concise as possible, so we can get through as many questions as humanly possible. Stay muted while you are not speaking, so don't get any background noise. That would be lovely. So I'm going to turn it over now to the lovely Melinda, who's going to talk about her garden club. Melinda, are you ready to go?
Yes, got the sound back.
All yours, dear.
Great. Next slide, please. Want to start with my challenge question and tell you guys a little bit about garden clubs. Traditional garden clubs are dying out. They're aging out. The average age is over 70. So I had an idea a few years back to start a virtual club, and we've got some challenges at this point. It's how do we grow our online virtual garden club memberships digitally with digitally savvy plant lovers from novice to pro, and a garden club for everybody. And the two markets that we want to go after are the youthful audience, because garden clubs are aging out, and millennials and Gen Z really work well and fit our demographics. And then the wider audience is there are a lot of people that can't make traditional meetings. Our meetings are during the day, starting around lunchtime and in the afternoon. And for somebody who's busy at work, they never can get to a garden club meeting. So looking for ways that we can reach these target audiences and grow our club. About us. I wanted to tell you all why I started it. And my passion for gardening started with my mother. She was an artist and an educator, really an influencer before the word existed. In the 60s to the 80s, she created programs, garden clubs in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and she started the floral and gardening education program at the New York Botanical Gardens. She had 3 books published by Harcourt Brace and Ivanovich, and she taught flower arranging across the East Coast. Even though I grew up in this world, I never joined a garden club because I didn't have the time for it. They met during the week, and I would always tell my clients, follow your passions, work your passions into what you do. So finally in 2021, I joined my first garden club when I was living in Alexandria and got my feet wet. Within 3 months, I was asked to sit on the state board as the communications chair. And as I got involved with everything, I was at a meeting and I said, we need a virtual club. And the president said, why don't you try and set one up? In the meantime, I took on lots of other responsibilities, didn't have time to do anything until basically in July 24, the right person within the organization came along and said, yes, let's do it. And as we did it, Virtual Garden Club was created for plant lovers everywhere, from city balconies to backyards to Zoom screens miles away. What began as a simple idea has taken root. We're now 19 members strong after our first year. And we all share the love of plants, community, and purposeful joy. And the one thing that I do want to add, just with a little sense of humor, this isn't your grandmother's club. It's a gardening reimagined for today. Next slide, please. Our timeline. We were officially formed in 2024, July. What do we anticipate launching our business? We started our second year. We're starting our second year, September 2nd. You guys are all invited if you want to come. When did you sell your first product or service? Our first members, beyond our 5 board of directors, we started selling in September of 2024, and we operate online on Zoom. And we also do 4 field trips a year to gardens. Next slide, please. Celebrating our first year. So in 2024, we're a new kind of club that blossomed, one rooted in the connection, creativity, and community and fun. And I make the point about connection because connection is really hard to do virtually, and it's something that you all may want to talk about as we talk about this. We're for plant lovers near and far. So what we're basically saying is you can be anywhere to be in our club. We're focused on the DMV, but in the meantime, we have members that are outside that boundary. And we are also very, very, I want to say it the right way, reasonably cost $35 a year. And that gives you 9 meetings online, 1-hour meetings. And it also gives you 4 field trips that may cost something because there may be an admissions to a garden or whatever. But it's a lot for your money. Next slide, please. So we're a thriving community, members seen and heard, rooted in connection, inspiring speakers and field trips, which I just said. Our campaigns are really, really creative. We have Discover the Joy of Gardening. Join us online from seeds to blooms, and wherever you are, we're growing together. It's a club where we really are trying to connect everybody and make everybody feel comfortable. One aside, all the graphics in here were done by AI, and I could talk about that a little bit later, but I had AI to help me create my graphics. Next slide, please. The problems we solve. The big problem is Garden Club is aging out. And we are more than a thriving community. We're a place where people come and we have conversation, we have education, and we do a lot of things. And we just talked about the campaigns, the inspiring speakers we bring in. Our first speaker this month is going to be talking about herbs and growing herbs. Next slide, please. How we generate revenue. Our dues, as I said, were only $35. Our costs are much more, so we are working on getting a lot more members. Our speakers do cost $100 to $300 each month. And I've got a lot of fundraising ideas, and one of them, which I put down here, is these sleeves that they're selling right now. I don't know if you all have seen them, but they protect you from bugs and sun. Really, really cool product. And National Capital Area, which is our state, is having its 75th anniversary next year. So we can make these like a something that everybody will want to collect and wear, and we could sell it to the 60 clubs in the system. So it should be a good fundraiser. Next slide, please. Value proposition. Our mission is to provide green education resources, engaging networking opportunities, and workshops for our members, with the focus to promote the love of gardening, flower arranging, civic landscaping, environmental responsibility, and community outreach programs. We offered by our club, our district, our state, our region, and nationally. And that's important because a membership in our club gives you a national garden club membership as well. And all these different groups offer courses. Courses may cost something. There are a lot of free seminars and webinars and things you'll find, but there's a lot of education and a lot of ways to meet other people around the country. Next slide, please. So what they're saying about us, we've put these campaigns together, and each campaign actually captures different types of fun that we're having, and we're trying through our graphics and through the things we're doing, we're trying to be a place that people that can't make a meeting, especially the younger generation, where they can come and meet others with similar interests. One of the other things that we're doing with all of this is that we offer our members can go to other clubs, and we're offering the other clubs, if they need help at some of their events. Their members are over 70, so a lot of people can't lift things. They can't stand on their feet at a plant sale or whatever. So our members can also help the clubs that are existing out there. And in the meantime, the clubs can refer people to us. Next slide, please. Potential partners and channels. I've started this list. I did a download or a brain download, as I would call it, to AI, and I put a bunch of lists together that I have to get into a better form. But we've got online digital calendars, event posting platforms, listservs, local newspapers, magazines, blogs, social media, horticulture and flower organizations like Ikebana, Daffodil Society, the Herb Society, et cetera, botanical gardens, arboretums, education institutions, flower shops, garden centers. The list is endless, and I've been collecting places so that we can take our meeting announcements and start posting them on the websites, on the URLs, and on the calendars. The way we're going to grow, I really feel strongly, is virtually. So we've got to find people virtually. If you find somebody that you meet, if they say they're going to do it, they may, but they may not be virtual. And the virtual is very important because our meetings are digital. Marketing channels we're using, we've been doing a lot with Instagram. We run campaigns on it consistently. I started a Facebook page 4 years ago. I need to update it. It doesn't have all the new branding, so please don't look for it. And I've written the content for the website a couple of times. It's time for us to get it up there. And we really want to attract younger members that want to meet online because they don't have the time to make it to our meetings. Next slide, please. Publicity campaign. These are some of the ads that we've had on Instagram. Plus, I put in the middle just so you see there's a little flyer, and it's just a who, what, where, when, and how to join a meeting. So that goes out with information when we're sending stuff out. Everything is Instagram ready or Facebook ready and ready to post. We are also posting some of the information in libraries and other places where we'll print it out and we'll just have an opportunity to post it. If you want to check us out on Instagram, our handle is DMV Gardens Virtually. Next slide, please. Our competitors. Well, garden clubs are a competitor because if you join a garden club, you can come to our meeting. But the point is that they're really not our competitors because all garden clubs are traditional. They don't meet virtually. They may meet in January, February during bad weather. And that was something that clubs liked doing during the pandemic. So they've done it a little bit. But there really is no competition. It's how we're going to work together. The next one I was saying is some of the flower societies and other groups that are out there. And again, they have education and things online, but they don't meet online. And somebody that might belong to Ikebana might want to join a garden club, or somebody who belongs to the Herb Society may want to join a garden club. And then I said meetup related groups, and they meet in person, we're virtual. Next slide, please. So we want to leverage these competitors to expand our membership. And I think we talked about that a little bit, where we can bring them ways we can help them, and they can post our virtual meetings and get their members to attend our meetings. Next slide, please. Coming back to the challenge question, how do we grow our online virtual garden club memberships with digitally savvy plant lovers? And again, from novice to pro, because all types of people join our group, and we're a garden club for everybody. And reminding everybody, we're looking at millennials and Gen Z and the wider audience of folks that can't make traditional garden club meetings that gather Monday to Friday.
Awesome. Thank you, Melinda.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. So, hey, everybody, I'm John Rutenberg. I'm the moderator for this part of our program. Congratulations, Melinda. Thank you for your presentation. So, Melinda, I'm going to give you the advice that we, when we play the role of moderator, give the presenter. Answer with a thank you and a very short response so that the folks in the audience do the talking. And audience, one question at a time. Smart brevity is a great concept. Jen Dalton taught all of us smart brevity. It's a book, but the concept is amazing. With that, I open it up. I've got Jen, John Foster, and James.
Melinda, great job. Thank you for presenting today. I'm guessing that the Virtual Garden Club is part of a 501c3, since it's
Correct.
okay, perfect. One suggestion I have is you're thinking about attracting a younger audience. Most of the students in the high school space, at least, have to do a certain amount of volunteer or community hours. So I was thinking of maybe partnering with a local school or schools. They could either come and teach a session or they could come and help on field trips. But it could be a way for them to earn their volunteer community service hours, which they need to graduate. I know my son has to do that. Both of my kids have had to do that. So I'm happy to talk with you about that offline and see if maybe that's a interesting and a different partnership where kids could learn, get exposure, but also be a win-win for both.
I love it. Thank you.
John Foster.
Thank you, John. Melinda, love the presentation, and just thinking about, anything virtual. And so I really appreciate the topic. The one of the things I think about as far as topics go, I was thrilled to see you had culinary herbs and stuff in there with regards to eating and food and stuff, which I think is huge. The other thing, which I was just thinking relative to your looking for younger people, I don't know if you've done anything on hemp before. But that's certainly, it's an art and science in growing that. And so topics that will apply to, the younger crowd, I think is the way to go. Also, I'm just going to put in chat, I mentioned the Iris Gardens up in New Jersey. I put links to the chat or links to that place up in Jersey. So love what you're doing, and we need more of it.
Thank you, John. Connection is a real challenge virtually.
I'll come back.
Good. James.
Melinda, awesome stuff. You've coached for the DMV Garden Club, right? Is there any, when you advertise or when you go out, you are just advertising inside the DMV specifically?
We've always been Virtual Garden Club, and we put the name NCAGC in front of it so that we will become the right arm of the state, which is actually good because it's a way to bring members into garden clubs in the state, because there are a lot of people that want to do things virtually. DMV was something that my vice president came up with, which was brilliant at the time for Instagram, because she didn't want to just say virtual garden club, but she does do DMV and then she does hit it with Virtual Garden Club, and we've added the logo to all of the things that she's doing right now,
Okay.
so that
My,
she's
my
getting it.
sorry, yeah, my point, just for brevity, right?
Mhm.
My point is National Garden Club has 4,075 members across the US. It's massive. So the thing about being virtual is you don't have to be confined into a space. And so if you're trying to grow, the only thing you're doing that would be a constraint to someone in Texas is the fact that you do these quarterly things. You go away quarterly.
Correct.
So has there been any thought around maybe doing like a two-tier membership where you'll take members from anywhere in the US and spread your wings, and the people within the DMV who want to do the quarterly pay a little bit more and actually spread, because who cares? It's virtual.
There's a national movement asking all of the states, which all of the clubs in the US, the number you read is how many clubs they have around the world.
Yeah.
The 4,000 number, because it's an international organization.
Okay.
What they plan to do, or what's going on, is virtual clubs are starting to pop up other places. We're the only virtual club in the Metro DC area and there are 60 clubs in our state. We are the 51st state, Washington DC, which is a little bit confusing.
Sure, I get it.
So we may be able to, and it's a really good idea, see what other states are doing. The way I'm set up right now, though, is I'm reporting to a district because they haven't put all the paperwork to make us part of the state. So we're sort of in a transition, and as we're in the transition, the focus is really growing at the group.
All right, that's fine. Just trying to get clarity.
Great ideas.
Sure.
Great ideas. Thank you.
Milane, then Reg, then back to Jen.
So I thought about meetup groups. When I was in my 30s, I joined meetup groups when I was looking to expand connections. And they were a tremendous benefit. And even when I moved here, I looked up meetup groups as a way of bringing connection. And so I wondered if you considered meetup groups that could focus in the DMV, and also beyond that, you can meet virtually, and then you can also meet locally for those limited events.
I love your idea. Meetup groups are out there, and there are some gardening type of groups, and I think reaching out in partnerships with them may be the strongest way to go after them versus setting something up where we're going to have a meetup at such and such. Or we could start calling our garden tours and things meetups and just use the branding that Meetup already has, which probably wouldn't be stupid and a good way to promote them. So thank you.
Reggie.
Good morning, everybody. So Melinda, great job. A couple of things I thought about. You could make your field trips virtual. I kind of like the idea of having two tiers, one where people can actually go and participate, and then for those that can't, they can, you can live stream a garden tour. It's obviously not the same as being there, but for people that are really interested, there's the opportunity to kind of see what you're doing and learn about it that way. And I like the idea of using influencers if you're really looking for like younger people, and they don't have to be gardening people. Like if the goal is that they just need an audience, right, of people that might potentially be interested. So they could do some gardening, but they could be an influencer in some other area. And you kind of set them up with some gardening, get them interested, and then they can bring their audience into it that way. A lot of people just maybe don't see it as accessible or something that they can maintain or keep up with. And the last thing I would say is I think you can tie in gardening and mental health, like that's
It's a great
a
idea.
big area that is of concern for a lot of people. And I think people don't think about the connections there, but there's a lot of room to explore that and get people interested in gardening as a positive, solution or benefit for their mental health. And that's something that is a wide ranging concern and care for a lot of different types of people, including younger people. So
Fabulous ideas, Reggie. Thank you. One of the thoughts is our September speaker. She also has a blog and she is an influencer. Her blog is Peg Plants. And other speakers like that who are influencers may help us because Peggy and I have already talked about partnerships and things that we can do to help her and things she can do to help us. And she also puts together a really wonderful events list. And I want to be a resource for people to come to our website once we get it up. So, and an excuse to go see what's going on in the Metro DC area in the gardening arena. Because there really aren't a lot of places. And I would do it jointly with her, where she puts it out through her newsletter, her blog, and we would put it out in other ways so that there would be more reach within the community. But great ideas. Thank you.
Right. Jen and then John Rittenberg.
One thing I was going to recommend, similar to our model here, and you may have this, I'm not sure, but having a minute or two upfront to either feature a nonprofit or feature an organization in the horticultural gardening space. They could come on and introduce themselves, be a speaker. It also could attract more visibility. There are some nonprofits like City Blossoms, which does kid-driven community gardening. Sustainability Matters is an organization that I work with through Business Women's Giving Circle. And so I think bringing visibility that way might be an idea. My other recommendation, which I put in chat, and I know Reggie would have the same feedback as well, thinking about having a very well-defined marketing event calendar. Maybe 1 month is speaking and 1 month is a hands-on educational where people can literally build an herb garden, but do it virtually. Maybe you send them kits. That could be a different tiered membership level too. But I would think about making sure that each virtual meeting has a very clear purpose, not just having a talking head, but having people being able to do something on their own. Here's what you need to bring to our meeting to participate while they're leading the session, something like that. Because people like to participate, not just observe.
I love it, Jen. Fabulous. Can you put those nonprofits in the chat as well? Because they may become speakers for us and they can then let people know that they're going to be speaking at our event. And I think that would be very powerful.
Great. All the comments have been phenomenal as I sit here and listen. It's really great. Mr. Lawson, I'm going to go first, if I may. So in listening to comments and in thinking about your presentation, I want to talk about product development because I didn't hear a lot about the outcomes people experience once they've been a member. And I think that relates to developing the product further and how you grow the awareness and the membership, particularly in the DMV for the moment, as follows. There are probably 8 nurseries in the DMV that could be strategic partners where maybe they're the highlight, the practitioner who leads a group through, and by creating those partnerships, they get promoted in front of your club in the region they're working at, and they also may draw in people. And going to the multiple tiers, and again, this is less about marketing than it is about building out what you offer and what people feel once they've experienced you, is the Starbucks model started as mail order. And once they saw a concentration by zip code, they then located stores near those zip codes. So if all of a sudden Garden Club online, your virtual garden club becomes hot in Dallas, in year 2, you may be able to introduce product tiers 2 and 3 that were referenced earlier. So I really believe that stepping back and looking at your product roadmap
I love it.
is very important.
I love it. It was my original direction. The URLs that I have are Virtual Garden Club, virtualgardenclubs.org and .com. I own those URLs.
Good.
What switched was that nationals started asking each state to start a virtual club. So I don't know if I can do that, but depending upon where we go, I still own those URLs. And my idea was to be national and then international. And I still think there are a lot of legs on that concept.
My focus is more on what you offer, which I think needs development. You need to have a set of bullets of what's specific, one page. Rutenberg doesn't even look at graphics. You know that about me. I'm talking about what is the text, okay? And the ideas of having practitioners teach me how to do herbs virtually and the virtual field trips where you and a couple of practitioners walk people through would be amazing. Okay, but I really believe product development is your biggest task first. Then, based on what you're offering, it'll be easier to define the markets.
I like that focus because that, along with our membership drive, and I forgot to mention it, we're starting our membership drive right now,
Good,
and reaching out to find more people virtually.
good. James, then Reggie, then John.
Melinda, just a clarifying question, then I'm going to ask a real question. Have you guys actually set yourselves a goal, like 3, 6, 9, 12 months in terms of how many new members you actually want to bring in? Because I find that when we have a number, the focus tends to be at that number. And if so, within your group, have you already set that so you know what you're looking for?
It's something I need my group to really focus on. I've talked about it, that we really need to focus on small bites of how we're going to build it and how many we want to get out of each campaign. We're not there yet.
Okay.
My board of directors are all new people that haven't done anything in the garden club arena. They like to garden. And it's really getting them to understand what we need. We need committees. We don't have enough people helping. I'm doing a lot more than I should be doing
Sure.
because others just don't jump in to do it. And we've got to set up processes.
Okay. So I'd say start moving that along and start getting yourself a goal in terms of we need to get 3 members a week or whatever the hell number it is for you guys, and just get focused on that. Second thing is, and this is a bit about what John was saying, is the why you.
Yeah.
If there's other virtual clubs coming around, like you got to figure out how you're going to differentiate yourself from like everybody else, right? So that people are really attracted to you. From a membership drive, are you guys talking to the local garden centers about maybe going down there and setting up stalls and actually have sitting it? I mean, that's where your peeps are, right? They're all coming to the garden center. And maybe just doing like half a day at maybe a couple of garden centers on a Saturday, Sunday to try and encourage people to join the garden club, do it that way, perhaps.
That's a great idea. And we have talked about putting QR codes with garden centers and a lot of the other potential partners so that somebody might want to learn more and they can just scan the QR code.
Yeah. I would definitely start using some technology to look at your competition, because they are your competition, right? Everyone's your competition who's doing the same thing, and figure out what you can actually develop as a club that would kind of move you off to the side and create your own little blue ocean, if you will, that will encourage people to come to you guys versus going someplace else. It's a bit of work, but you're going to do this anyway, right? This is just a focus more than anything else. So that would be my suggestions, my dear.
We've done it with the virtual because a lot of people can't make meetings during the week, and
Yeah.
that is a really big point of difference.
Yeah,
by
we
having
need to
something
go.
like-
We need to go a magnitude higher, Melinda.
Yeah.
I think, right? Because if everyone's starting to do virtual, they'll catch up. So you've got to get ahead. That's all. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Reggie.
Yeah, so just a couple other ideas. I work sometimes at the farmers market, and there's a lot of people that come through there, young families. And I think they're kind of in your target demographic. And so those are places where you could do some live streams and stuff like that, where you're just kind of showcasing what you do. I just think people have an idea of what gardening looks like, and they're either kind of not interested in the idea of like digging around in dirt, or they think it's not something that they can really own as part of their generation. So I think you have to show them what it looks like, what it can look like, and maybe how easy and accessible it is, right? To pique some of that interest. And then also there are so you've heard of adopt a highway. Like you could adopt a school, right? Adopt a high school and say, hey, we want to set up a virtual pilot gardening club in this high school, like as a way to get kids interested in gardening, right? And you have a liaison with the school or whatever. Maybe it meets after school, and you can start building this relationship that can potentially spread to other schools. But you're just sort of introducing again to this one group of people what it looks like. What are the benefits of starting to garden now as a young person? Like, how can that benefit your life and all the different ways that we talked about? So it's another idea.
Great ideas, Reggie. Want to share? We are doing the DC State Fair on September 6th. National Capital Area is taking a booth, and I said Virtual Garden Club wants to be there too. So we're going to be at the State Fair. And it's a good way to dip our feet into it. I'm not sure I have any members that are going to help me, but I will announce it at my meeting on September 2nd and see if some of the folks that are there on September 2nd might want to join us, whether they're a member or a guest, but to come see us live. And that will be a thing to promote. Thank you.
John.
Thank you, John. Hey, Melinda, I was just thinking, do you all ever do like any, and maybe besides the groups, like grow challenges? Where, people are growing something and, it's, the challenge. So, you come to a meeting and, hey, this is how far, plants grown X, that sort of thing. I don't know if you've done that.
It's a great involvement thing that we can do with our members, and we can say, okay,
Yep.
Especially with bulbs coming up and people like
Right.
bulbs in the winter.
And then another quick question, as far as the website goes, as far as resources go, one of the things I find, particularly today's day and age, is there's so much out there. By having a place, and we do it at Career Network, have some resources that we found, they're curated resources that are helpful to people because there's so much out there. So if there are resources that are available through the Virtual Garden Club, that might be helpful as well.
I like that. A lot of clubs do it, but they don't pass it out on their websites or on their Facebook pages. And I've got a list of resources around Metro DC of all the types of things that we could easily post. It's a fabulous idea.
Jen.
Melinda, I put a couple of webinar topics in chat.
Cool.
I would think about how do you grow a garden that could grow your home value? Partner with realtors and do something interesting there. How do you save money gardening? I think that's an important topic for many people right now. What's the easiest thing to start growing? How do you garden with your kids, and how do you start that together? So for what it's worth, I think as you're designing your webinars, really make them I don't want to say a meaty topic because we're a vegetarian and garden, but a hefty, juicy, there we go, juicy topic
Yeah.
that really is meaningful, right? And it speaks to John and James' points around the value proposition and what are people going to get out of it. We want them to learn not just one thing, but multiple things. And so hopefully those ideas in chat help. But I think even if you did 2 events a month, one educational and one that's interactive,
Mhm.
you may need to actually increase the amount of times you're meeting with people and make that a different membership tier 2 or something. Because I do think if you're doing virtual, one a month may or may not be enough.
Right.
So it might be something to test and learn. We're just sort of the phase you're in right now, test and learn.
Love the thought. Thank you.
So I'm going to jump in for a moment and then recognize James in a second. Initially, you mentioned you had a group of members. Maybe you said 19, is that
Correct.
earlier?
19
Okay.
members.
Some of whom are board members?
Yes,
Or-
we have 5 board members that are part of that.
Okay. So if you went to each of the 5 board members and maybe all 19, and I would start with 5 and ask them to each bring someone to the club,
Yes.
for which they get 5 tomato plants. I just made the last part up, but I'm really trying to, but I'm serious. It could be cucumber plants, whatever's relevant. But I'm very serious that your first goal, going back to James, is to reach X number. And let's choose 50. I don't really know the size of
That's a good
garden
number.
clubs, so, but let's choose 50. And if you're at 19, if each person, then you're at 38.
Mhm.
And if each person, then you're at 76. So I believe that a lot of your energy is selling, is motivating your initial crew of people, first by giving them the best damn product out there based on all the ideas that came up today. And secondly, one-on-one saying, hey, our membership drive relies on you, Bobby, Mary, Fred. Bring one in, 5 tomato plants get delivered to your door, ready for whatever you do with tomato plants.
I love it. We are looking at a
Right.
membership drive, and one of the things is
Okay.
bring a friend to the next
Good.
meeting.
No,
But
at this point,
I
with
totally
all
agree
the
with what you're
social
saying.
media in the world, I think to really be effective, get your 19 people to be your evangelical choir.
The only challenge we have
James.
right now with our 19, just to mention
Mhm.
it, is we don't have everybody participating.
Hey, they're
$35.
people.
Yeah.
They're people.
Yeah.
They're weirdos. They're strange. They're odd, but they're the first 19. So maybe only 11 and a half of them will help. It's okay, James. I'm simple, James. It's all there is to it.
Oh, John, you kill me.
Great.
You kill me. Couple of things, and I haven't thought this through, so I'm just going to spit it out first. But first and foremost, you know the size of the gardening business in the US? Do you know how big it is?
I used to know the number. I don't. It's
Right.
huge.
It's $188 billion a year. This is not a small marketplace, right? So this is not a lack of opportunity. It's just a lack of being able to figure it out, which is good, right? That's always good. One of the things, and again, I haven't thought this out, Melinda, but have you thought about having your board of directors actually join gardening Facebook groups?
That's a really I personally have been, and I've joined a lot of them, but I don't think anybody else is, and it's a great idea to share.
So I've just been there's hundreds of these things,
Thousands,
right? So you could get on, join the Facebook group, start making yourself known, and then surreptitiously just go and invite them to your virtual and say, hey, we're on a quick thing here. Would you like to come and see and test it out and see what you think about it? And then once they come in, snag them and say, hey, we actually do this thing, yada, yada. All right. You got to get a plan. As I said, I haven't thought this out. Colleen's laughing. I haven't thought this out totally. But it is a strategy to join Facebook groups who are doing the same thing as you are doing, start to build connections there, and then kind of move them over to where you want them to be. So just something to think about, right? As another avenue to start building up your community. Or maybe even if you start your own Facebook group as part of your club, right? And get people in and then move them into your virtual paid thing.
Good thoughts. Thank you.
I told you I hadn't thought it out very well, but I know that's a strategy.
There's a big trade show, regional, called MANTA, M-A-N-T-A, here in Baltimore, but it's the whole mid-Atlantic region, and that's in January, and I'm toying with ways, other than I've walked the show for a couple of years, where that might be able to also help build our visibility.
I'm of the opinion, Melinda, rightly or wrongly, and Jen will probably slap me in the head for saying this, but here's the thing. I wouldn't care where I'm getting people from. I just want to get people in.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. I just want to start building it up. I can get, start later on finding the right people in the DMV, blah, blah, blah. But to build that community, it's like just fill the pipeline. Just get them in. Right.
Thank you.
John, are we done with questions? Can Mr. Lawson move on to the final question?
I recognize Mr. Lawson, the MC of the day. May I remind you to place
share the screen?
slide.
I got it.
Share your screen, brother.
I got it. So, Melinda, thank you so much for the presentation. That was lovely. I think there's a ton of stuff that just came out of that you can definitely walk away with and start to implement. And here's the good thing for you. You're part of 1MC, you're part of the organizers, you've got brain power, you've got people that can help if you need anything, right? So we're all here if you need it. And so I think you're fine. Final question. What can our 1 Million Cups community help you with today? Is there anything else?
Well, if anybody thinks of anything, please let me know. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. I love all the brilliant ideas. I always believe no idea is a bad idea. Just get as many ideas as you can look at and see how you can put them together, because what may not work today will work tomorrow. And I'm really appreciative for the opportunity to be before the group as a presenter. So thank you, 1 Million Cups, for giving me this opportunity.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Okay, so next week's presenters. Alyssa Zhu and Leila Campbell. Jen, are these people that you know? Is this someone that you have brought in? It sounds like you.
I don't know what that means, but sure. Young and vibrant. I will.
Young and smart. Absolutely. Yeah.
These are two students from Georgetown. They came and asked for feedback on their pitch presentation a few months ago. They placed third in their pitch competition and won some cash. Now they are actually raising lots of money. So they're going to come talk to us next week for more input and feedback as they go to finish building and launching Wave at Georgetown and beyond. So do join us, because we really did play a big role as a group, helping them do well at their pitch competition out in California and get that first sort of seed capital to get started. Remember, they're not asking for money. They just want our ideas.
Awesome. And if you are looking at this screen right now, you'll see a little QR code in the bottom left-hand corner on the white piece of the screen. If you want to or would like to apply to present at 1 Million Cups, you can scan that code and that will walk you through a series of questions and get you into our system. So upcoming events, there's always loads and loads of events. I don't know if there's anything in here that we want to pull out individually, but I will copy and paste these into the chat, right? So you can go and check them out at your own convenience. But yeah, there's a ton as always. Presenter schedule. So what do we got? Okay, Melinda just done. August 27th, we've got Leila and Alyssa coming. We are open from September 3rd and 10th. That's so September 3rd is a hybrid where we will be both in person and virtually there. So if you want to come along to George Mason Enterprise and join us there, you can. And again, we're always open to looking for new presenters. As always, share the news, share the love. The QR code will take you to one place you can get all our social media. And please do your best to just like spread it around. Tell people how great we are and how wonderful we are and blah, blah, blah. It has been a blast. I will close this down in a second. But Melinda, again, thank you for your presentation. It was wonderful. And hopefully you're walking away with a lot of splendid ideas